Recently, I've been thinking about deadlines. And because I'm a walking contradiction, I think two ways about deadlines. First, I think deadlines are important, or at least helpful, or at least sometimes helpful. Well, depending on how you look at it, they're helpful in some ways. I should really lock down a thesis. Second, I think deadlines aren't the only thing that's important. I think quality is more important than quantity. Or at least this is the mindset I've had for a while. I think that breakthroughs and ideas and making things of quality takes time. It takes trial and error. I also think this is a pretentious thought, especially when you're first starting out. Ira Glass has a great take on this. I heard this clip a few years ago, and it's always stuck with me.
Nobody tells people who are beginners, and I really wish somebody had told this to me, is that all of us who do creative work, we get into it, and we get into it because we have good taste. But it's like there's a gap, that for the first couple years that you're making stuff, what you're making isn't so good, okay? It's not that great. It's trying to be good. It has ambition to be good, but it's not quite that good. But your taste, the thing that got you into the game, your taste is still killer. And your taste is good enough that you can tell that what you're making is kind of a disappointment to you. You know what I mean? A lot of people never get past that phase. A lot of people at that point, they quit. And the thing I would just say to you with all my heart is that most everybody I know who does interesting creative work, they went through a phase of years where they had really good taste. They could tell what they were making wasn't as good as they wanted it to be. They knew it felt short. It didn't have this special thing that we wanted it to have. And the thing I would say to you is everybody goes through that. And for you to go through it, if you're going through it right now, if you're just getting out of that phase, you gotta know that's totally normal. And the most important possible thing you could do is do a lot of work. Do a huge volume of work. Put yourself on a deadline so that every week or every month you know you're going to finish one story.
You see, the people who make the work that you admire, the things that you look at and you think, man, I wish I'd made that. They probably went through a phase where they made a lot of things that they didn't like. A lot of things that didn't meet up with their taste. To get better at anything means working on it a lot. Failing a lot. This is a hard pill to swallow. I feel like I'm getting off track. The main reason I believe deadlines are helpful is because they help me fight one of my personal biggest downfalls: procrastination. Most days when I come home from work, I would rather lounge about, reading or listening to podcasts or watching movies. That's always easier than writing or filming or editing. It's always easier to consume than it is to create. Motivation, as of recent, has been hard to find. Hell, for example, this film was supposed to be finished almost 2 months ago at this point. The problem was I hadn't done anything. I hadn't written, filmed, edited, nothing. All I knew was I was going to make a film about deadlines. And then, as it does every once in a while, time slipped away from me. To be fair, I got a lot done within that initial 2-week deadline. I filmed a good portion of what you're watching now, I edited and color graded, and I wrote at least a first draft. But that's the part that's taken me the longest. The writing wasn't there yet. It was missing something, and it probably still is. But that's okay. You see, I'm aware that nothing is perfect. Nothing I've ever made even comes close to the things I admire. This is very clear when I look back at old drawings that I made in school, or rewatch short films I've made over the years. But sometimes there's this nagging feeling in your stomach when you're working on a project that tells you it's not done yet. It could be better. And this time I listened to that feeling. I ignored the deadline for the sake of quality, or self-indulgence. I don't know. It just depends on how you look at it. I'm trying to be better about this. I'm trying to find the right balance between making things of quality while not falling victim to perfectionism. Because I think deadlines are helpful. If used correctly, deadlines can help you manage your time more efficiently and stay on track, and in turn, get more things done. As of now, it's January 2020. There's a calendar on my wall with dates and goals waiting to be added, a cork board with tacked up pages full of ideas waiting to be executed, sticky notes of things accomplished, and a clock that ticks on and on and on that reminds me there are things to do, and there's only so much time to do it.